Hello, Sandra here from New Vintage, newvintage.com.au. So I'm actually going to do something a little bit different in this video today because I love to share how to use our products and how to recycle and restore and refurbish furniture. But today I thought I'd actually talk to you a little bit more about the business itself, because painting furniture is becoming quite a thing to do, and I think it's wonderful, whatever it takes to recycle pieces and have these amazing old pieces be embraced again. I'm all for that. But I get asked a lot about the actual running of the business and how it works, and it can be a really fine line between me regurgitating it's close to 6 years worth of my business knowledge and just giving everything away. It's a fine line between that and the fact that I do want to see people upcycle furniture and I do want to see people succeed. So I thought I could just talk about it a little bit today and see what your thoughts are. Any sort of questions or feedback, please just leave your thoughts and comments, and I will get back to you. So a little bit about New Vintage, I suppose. So my background, I'm actually a teacher by trade. So I got my teaching degree back in 2000 and something, like a long time ago. And I taught as a teacher for a few years until I had our first child. And I decided, my husband and I decided once we had children that it was really best for me to be a full-time stay-at-home mum. And I was lucky enough to have 4 children, and in that time I was a full-time, totally dedicated stay-at-home mum. Now, it is by far the best, most wonderful, hardest, most frustrating career that I have ever had, and I still have. Our eldest is 14 and a half and our youngest is about to turn 7. So while I was busy being a stay-at-home mum, I was constantly decorating, upcycling. We were only on one income and we had a mortgage. A few times we had 2 mortgages. So, I grew up being thrifty, and I actually really, really love taking something from nothing and making it be a reflection of us and our house. So I had one child at school, and I had one child at kindy, which meant I had the 2 little ones at home. I had an almost 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. And it had just reached the point where I felt really, really lost. Not in my mothering, not in my marriage, not in life, but in Sandra. I really felt lost as to who I was and what I wanted. So I was really busy with the kids and everything, and I kind of felt like the time had come for me to do something just for me. And of course, I still loved teaching. I loved the idea of being in a classroom and helping children learn and grow. But I really felt overwhelmed with the changes that had happened in the education system. And also, the biggest thing that overwhelmed me was leaving my 2 little people. So I had a conversation with the principal where I used to teach, and I'd really like to come back, do a bit of casual teaching, maybe 1-2 days a week. Oh yeah, awesome, Sandra. Yeah, we need casual teachers. That was first thing in the morning. By the afternoon, I had said to the principal, maybe 1 day a month. And he just looked at me and he said, you don't want to come back, Sandra. And I just burst into tears because I didn't want to. I didn't want to leave my children, but I wanted to do something and I just didn't know what it was. So chatting with my husband, he said to me, what would you like to do? And I said to him, I want to paint things and I want to make them pretty. And I want people to live in an environment that is reflective of who they are and what they love. To come home to a space that is so perfectly, beautifully them. That's what I wanted. And with that, New Vintage was born. So that's about 5.5, close to 6 years ago now. And I literally had a baby in a sling and a baby on my back looking for furniture. My mum would come with me. And my goal was to do 1 piece of furniture a week. So when they napped at lunchtime, I painted furniture. And I started off really, really slow, and I started off with no overheads and no pressure. So I do want to acknowledge the fact that my husband has always had a wonderful career, and I did have that luxury, and I'm very, very thankful for that luxury. But slowly the business started to build, and I had a lot of amazing support. So what happened was I shared the business on social media, Facebook, not so much Instagram then, and it just slowly started to spread. And I was painting inside the house, selling things from inside the house. Then we built the 3-bay shed in the back of our yard, and I started stocking paint products. I got the website built, and it really just started to snowball from there. So how did I get from there to here? There's 3 things I want to talk to you about now that I've given you the background of New Vintage. If you're wanting to start painting furniture for a living and even just a side hustle, I think there's 3 things that you really, really need to focus on. The first one is the products that you use and the pieces of furniture that you buy. The second one is to know your style, know your market, and know your client. And the third one is just to set goals, and that's a business thing. The first thing I'm going to talk about is products. So when you're buying a piece of furniture to flip, there's a few things that you really, really need to focus on. Obviously, you need the piece of furniture to be in really good, solid, strong condition. Because when someone buys this piece of furniture, every time they use it and look at it, they're going to remember you, and they're going to remember your business and your branding. So if it's a piece that's rickety, or the paint scratching or anything like that, that's going to leave a sour taste in their mouth. And you know what they say, for every 1 positive, you get about 3 to 5 negatives. So choose your piece of furniture wisely. That kind of blends in with choosing your products. So obviously I stock, sell and love Fusion Mineral Paint. And of course I'm going to recommend that that's what you paint your products in, because if you haven't seen my other videos, scroll down at the end of this and watch them. It's really important that you know your product. It's really important that you stand by your product. So if you paint a piece of furniture and someone comes to buy it from you, you can say to them, okay, this is painted with Fusion Mineral Paint, all natural product. It's a specialist furniture paint, so it's made to adhere to the surface. You can say to them, I have sealed the piece of furniture with a wax or a tough coat or whatever for extra longevity. That's what's going to make it nice and strong. You can also say to them, I stand by this product. If that piece of furniture chips and you're not happy with it, you bring it back to me and I will fix it free of charge. It just creates this whole business, I don't know if ethos is the right word, but a feeling of security around your business that will make the person go, yeah, you know what, $500, I'm going to pay that $500 because I believe in you, because you stand by your work and you stand by your product. When you're looking to buy a piece of furniture, like I said, strong and stable, but also something that's going to suit your business. So I'm not about to go and buy heavy, chunky Balinese pieces. My business is New Vintage. I'm going to buy pieces that have character, pieces that have beautiful lines to them. I'm going to not necessarily always buy old pieces, because if it's a new piece that has those characteristics, I'll buy that and I'll paint it. But I'm going to buy pieces that are constantly reinforcing what my business is about. Okay, let's leave products there and let's leave pieces of furniture there. I am not about to go into detail as far as buy your piece for this much amount, sell it for that much amount. Every area, every business, every piece of furniture is different. And if you come into the shop and you say to me, hey, I'm going to flip furniture, my response will be, awesome, what product will you need? I will support you with choosing your products, but I will not support you in your business structure. You need to do what is right for you and your market. And that brings me into the second point that I've got here, which is you need to know your style. You need to know your market and you need to know your client. Be original. Be original. if you're going to try, and it happens, and it's still happening, if you're going to try and copy someone like me, you're not staying true to yourself, and your business will not last. I promise you, it will not last. You need to stick to what is a reflection of you, because you are your business. So if you're coastal, stay coastal. If you're Hamptons, if you're antique, if you're, I don't know, let's put a rub-on transfer on everything. It will work for you because that's a reflection of you. Having said that, there's a little bit of an area here where you do need to stay on trend. I personally buck trends. I'm not a trend follower. I like to think I'm a trendsetter. But again, because I'm so certain as to what my business is and what my style is, I don't need to follow the trends. But having said that, if there's, I don't know, if there's a trend to paint everything, you know, like dusky pink, we just went through a really thick, solid dusty pink phase. I will do dusty pink, but I'll do it in a way that is reflective of me and stays true to my business. It's a really grey area there, but hopefully with time and with confidence, that's something that you can figure out how to keep it black and white. You need to stay within your style. Like I said, elegant, coastal, Hamptons, whatever it is. And 2.5, so there's a little side point to point to, is talking about styling your piece for sale and the photography. There is nothing more frustrating in the world than me seeing people paint their furniture and then they shove it in the garden and they take a photo from this angle or from this angle. Have a look through your Harvey Norman catalogues. Have a look through House and Garden. Have a few staple go-to pieces, accessories that you use to style your pieces. Learn a little bit about sizing. Learn a little bit about the level to get on to take your photo of your piece of furniture. There's no use painting an amazing piece of furniture and then shoving it in the garden and thinking, right, I'll put $500 on that. You need to make sure that your piece of furniture is selling itself and selling the story to the buyer. This is what this piece of furniture will look like in your house. This is what the piece of furniture will make you feel when you see it. Even though we all know that that's not the case, because you get it home and before you know it, I don't know, your husband throws his keys on it and it's not looking all beautiful and home beautiful like. Okay, so I will do some more things about styling and photography in a video later on. But the last one, point number 3 that I've got is setting goals. So set goals for yourself and set goals for your business. Now I'm okay at it. My goals are all up here. I need to start writing them down. That's something that I'm working on. But you might set the goal, okay, you know what, I work 3 days a week in my real job. I'm going to paint one piece of furniture a week. I'm going to paint one piece of furniture a fortnight, and I'm going to do a really good job, and I'm going to style it properly, and I'm going to put a higher price on it, and I'm going to let it sit. You need to set your own goals. Having said that, you also need to give your business time. So it's all fine and good for me to paint a hall table and say I'd like $595 for it. I've spent the last 5.5, 6 years building up clients, building up that trust, building it to the point where someone 400 kilometers away will buy it sight unseen. That doesn't happen overnight. So you need to build up the trust. And that leads me into another point there, which is not just giving it time, but working on your social media. So as much as we love to hate social media, if you can do things like this, where people get to know who you are, they get a sense of you, your business, and what you stand for, that's going to help you build up that trust and respect with your client. Social media is a whole 10,000 other videos, and I'm not going to go into it too much, but I would like to over time. So yeah, I just thought I'd do something a little bit different. I hope even just one of those points sticks with you. If you're thinking of flipping furniture for a living, I say go for it. Start as having it as a side hustle, and hopefully it's something that you're really passionate about, and your clients will pick up on that, and before you know it, you'll be a crazy woman like me and it becomes your full-time job. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.